Chapter 583. Everyone had their own tricks up their sleeves, and they could not wait to start the game. Therefore, Zora clapped her hands as she greeted another woman, smiled, and said, "By the way, this is Billy. She is also a close friend of mine. We are all not very good at gambling, so we should just start the game with the four of us now." Elaine also replied excitedly, "Okay, let's get started immediately. To be honest, my hands are getting itchy already." Zora smiled before she suggested, "Since today is the first time we are playing mahjong together with Sister Elaine, let's not start with too much capital. We will start with $1,000, and we will cap it at 64 times, okay?" "What?" Elaine was a little shocked when she heard Zora's words. She blurted out immediately, $1,000 capped at 64 times? This would eventually cost more than $60,000 at the end of the day. Do you usually play mahjong with such a big capital? Zora smiled before she waved her hand and said, "Sister Elaine, is this considered a big capital? To be honest, this is the smallest I have ever played. When I was playing with some of my friends the other day, we were playing at $3,000 to $5,000. We even played a few rounds of $10,000. Then, Zora pointed at Lucy, who was sitting next to Elaine, before she said, "The last time Lucy played a $5,000 game with me, I think I lost close to $1 million that day. On the other hand, I think that Lucy won $300,000 that night, right?" Lucy hurriedly replied, "Oh, Sister Zora. You are just too rich. You cannot even remember how much money you lost that night? You lost more than $2 million that day. I won about $500,000, but the biggest winner that night was Billy." At this time, the woman named Billy smiled before she said, "Oh, I simply won a little more than $1 million that night. That is not a lot of money to Sister Zora anyway." Zora smiled before she said, "To be completely honest, that small amount of money means nothing to me. My husband earns hundreds of millions of dollars every year, so he does not really mind if I lose $30 to $50 million playing mahjong." Elaine could not help but feel very excited when she heard Zora's words. Zora was truly a fool. Moreover, if Lucy was going to partner up with her, it would surely be an easy win for them. Elaine quickly dispelled all of her doubts and worries from before as she smiled and said, "Okay then, Sister Zora. Let's start with $1,000. Zora nodded before she smiled and said, "Let's get the dice rolling." "Okay." Elaine rubbed her hands together excitedly. After Zora dealt the cards, she immediately took the lead to start the game. After that, the four of them started checking their tiles. Elaine was very excited with the tiles she had been dealt with. She could not believe how lucky she was. All she needed to win the game was just a tile with 3 on one side, and a 20,000 tile. If she could draw these tiles, she would win the game immediately. Elaine was very excited, and she began looking forward to drawing the card that she lacked. However, after being unable to draw the tile that she needed after a few rounds, she thought of her agreement with Lucy. After that, she sent her a signal, asking her for a 3. Lucy understood her intentions and hurriedly let go of a 3 tile. 3. "Oh, I will take it." Elaine was very happy as she took the tile in front of her before she discarded a tile and said, 8. After that, Elaine said triumphantly, "I have a draw." Zora asked her in surprise, "Oh, Sister Elaine. You have a draw so soon?" Elaine smiled before she said, "Yes, it seems as though I have a very good hand today." Zora nodded as she said, "Then, I hope I will not burn myself." After that, Zora reached out her hand before she discarded her tile, 20,000.